One thing I always bump into when I'm writing is I get to what I call the dog days. Time when the story, the flow, the narrative, whatever, hits a dead zone. And I just have to put in sentences to connect one scene to the other. And I felt that that was something that I just had to do, because every now and then you come to a spot where you're not ready to go on to the next step, but you've got to move from the other one. And so you fill your manuscript, your writing, whatever, with all of this flotsam and jetsam. And I realized that was wrong. I don't have to go through a boring thing. Okay, granted, maybe not every scene is going to be a cliffhanger or a nail biter, because you do have to kind of give the reader a break. You know, an archer never keeps his bow strung all the time, because then it doesn't have the flexibility to really be effective. So if everything is nonstop, high octane, high adrenaline, your reader's going to get exhausted and they're really not going to want to go to it. So what I had to learn was respect for my sentences. If I'm going to take the time to write something, if I'm going to expect you to take the time to read something, I've got to make it worth reading. Yes, granted, maybe it won't be, a high impact sentence, but it's there for a reason. It's setting the tone. It's setting the pace. I don't have to come up with filler. And if I have to think that I have to do that, I really need to rethink my whole writing style, my narrative, the objective of the story, the book, and everything. I will admit that when I'm writing, I really want to get to the next high spot. I really want to get to the next thrilling spot, the next confrontation, the next dealing. But a person who goes through their whole life doing that in real life is a miserable person. I don't consider myself a miserable person. Granted, there are plenty of people out there who would argue that point. I don't consider myself, to be a miserable person. I don't think that my characters are miserable people, so they're not always going to be in the high drama. Sometimes it will be a more reflective. Reflective does not necessarily mean or equal boring. So when you're telling a story, whether it's a high point, a low point, a reflective, a responsive, a reactive, whatever, you're taking time out of your life that you will never get back to write it. Somebody is taking time out of their life that they will never get back to read it. Respect the sentence, respect the words, respect the writing, and make it worth everyone's time.